First of all, good morning, and thank you all for being here. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you here at Good Street. Whenever I'm summoned by Barbara Steele, I make it a point to clear my schedule. I don't always plan things on Saturday mornings, but when Barbara calls, I've always been very attentive to her requests. We do have a funeral that we're going to be engaged in, the loss of Coach Ellis Davis. And it's going to be here at the church, of course, at noon. So we would want to send our condolences out to the family of Coach Davis. My basketball coach, I didn't play basketball, but I was on the team. And we'll talk more about that at the funeral today. But had Coach Davis and had we had more teachers back in the day with the attitude and the spirit of folks like the teachers of yesterday, not to demean any of the teachers of today, but the teachers of yesterday, they taught us how to grow up, be respectful, to be successful individuals. We could kind of weed out the bad guys. We knew that Joe Johnny was the baddest guy in school. Now things have taken a turn where it's not just Joe Johnny, but it's Joe Johnny in the game. We will miss people like Coach Ellis Davis, and would hope that the spirit of DISD and today's teachers will turn to where we can get these kids under control. We're talking about legal stuff here today as one of our footnotes, and in order to correct some of the things that we have going on, we do have to address the concern of the youth, because right now crime and respect and burglaries and things that are happening, they're happening in record numbers now. Back in the day when we were growing up, we could tell who broke in the house. We could tell who the bad guy was in the neighborhood. It's out of control now. It's out of control because there's been a shift. It's a shift in attitudes. It's a shift in parental guidance, and it's a shift where now where we used to go to church all day long on Sunday and polish our shoes on Saturday night to get ready, and mother was in the kitchen on Saturday night preparing Sunday dinner for after church. Those things do not happen now. We have nightclub activity. We have a lot of things that's happening on Saturday nights now that have taken away the values of what it takes to really become that citizen. Anyway, so much for that. That's my own personal rant that I have. I would like to just engage in a little politics for just a moment and introduce a couple of people so that you all can recognize and know who they are. It's my responsibility as a leader to make sure that we know who's in charge and who you can depend on and who you can call on. Of course, this church is blessed to have our state senator Royce West as a member. So you all are just so very fortunate. I invite you all, members of this church, pull out some switches and beat Royce on his legs a little bit. Tell him I sent you, and so we can make sure that he's continue to stay engaged and continue to do all of the right things. I'd also solicit your prayers for our district attorney Craig Watkins. He's going through a lot of stuff now. When you're doing something and when you stand out and young and bold and good looking and are focused on doing the right thing, and you free more than 20 people that should have never gone to prison in the beginning, that's not a popular thing for society today. So regardless to what, we'll let everything shake out the way it will shake out. But let's just be very cognizant that he has a target on him, and he needs prayer, and he needs support. I will be standing to continue to support him. So I want to make that known. We have another gentleman with the camera right here. That's my best friend, and he raised me. And I'm a product of South Dallas. And my mother and his mother were beauticians together. And he's a little older than I am. In fact, he used to thump me on the head when we were over on the backside of Fair Park at Fitzhugh and Haskell, and we would go to the Candy Kitchen. And he and my brother, my big brother, they were responsible for me to make sure that I could go and get 2 for a penny cookies. So they'd have to keep me out of the street. I say that because I want you all to know I support certain individuals. I support individuals that have the backbone to stand up and make a difference on behalf of the people, and not for themselves. And C.W. Whitaker, C.W., put your camera down for just a minute so folks can stay.